Welcome to the Employco HR Chat. I'm Rob Wilson, and with me is Jason Eisenhut.
Hi, everyone.
Thanks for joining us for our first HR Chat of 2025. So, Jason, we're pretty fresh in the new year still. Is it too late? I was going to talk about benefit plan changes, but let's talk about trends for 2025.
Yeah, we're seeing five big trends for 2025 in terms of benefits. I mean, obviously, these could change over time, but one of the first ones we see is the new administration. So now that President Trump has taken office, we're expecting some changes to benefits for 2025, whether or not that's Affordable Care Act and the subsidies or employer reporting requirements under Affordable Care Act, or some of the prescriptions and what's covered, what's not. We're kind of anticipating some changes related to the new administration for benefits.
Too soon to tell when that will be, and typically a benefit change like that will take some time
Right.
to pass. So nothing too urgent to worry about right now. One of the nice when you talk about reporting changes it actually happened under the last administration on 1094s and 1095s.
Yeah. So now, well, and stay tuned. We're going to have a completely separate HR chat just on this if you want to dig into more detail. But at a high level, employers don't have to send these forms out anymore if they put a certain notice on their website.
So saves everybody some postage and some time.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then outside of plan design changes, you're seeing a lot of move to support more family initiatives.
Yeah. So we're seeing a lot of benefit plans and also employers concentrate on flexible scheduling and allowing certain types of benefits to be included, whether or not that's childcare or some other kind of family-centered benefits. I think we're going to see a big uptake in that in 2025.
It's really, and from an employer standpoint, it's outside of your insurance costs. There may be some costs involved in call it a loss of wages or loss of work time if you're giving off benefit time, but being more cognizant of whether it's leave for adoptive parents or surrogacy or whatever that family change might be, different treatments. So
Yeah, and again, with maybe the new administration, we're not exactly sure which path it's going to go down, but like in vitro or abortion type medications or services, I think we're going to start to see those, whether or not employees are looking for benefit plans that cover or exclude those, depending on kind of which side of the fence you're on. I think that might be a big focus for 2025.
And then something that you saw a huge increase over the last year or so is your weight loss drugs. So now, because you're looking at insurance centers that are covering it, not covering it, and we've seen some trends as well where some people have actually in their employment interviews have said, "Do you cover these drugs?"
Yeah, one survey thinks that 9% of the U.S. population will be on these GLP-1s by the year 2030. So that's a big, almost 1 in 10 U.S. American adults are going to be on one of these GLP, kind of either weight loss or diabetic for the reason, but probably a big uptick on the weight loss as the primary driver for it.
Which is interesting too, because it's some of these drugs are so new, you don't know what the side effects are.
Right. Yeah,
So
well, hopefully it all works out and that the employees or people who are on them have long-term good effects instead of the negative.
1 in 10, that's a
Yeah.
pretty surprising amount. Yep. So
And the last of the five is biosimilars. So although we have the biologics that are just driving costs through the roof, and a lot of them do really good work, biosimilars are kind of like generics where they kind of replicate the major categories of the biologics, but they're a fraction of the cost. So we're going to see hopefully a big kind of trend towards more plans and more prescription manufacturers offering these and employees and patients taking advantage of these biosimilars.
yeah, any way you can bring down the drug costs, because the drug costs, back years ago, it wasn't such a big cost to insurance companies, but now it's one of the largest parts of, from a claim management standpoint, looking at your loss ratio, your premium versus your expenses. Prescription drugs are one of the highest components now.
It's going through the roof.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at hr@employco.com. That email goes right to Jason. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Great.
So
Thank you.
thanks for joining us.